Chipo, chipo, iwe. Johnny, Johnny, iwe. Liza, Liza, iwe. Ushawe wa machemera. Ushawe wa machemera. Ushawe wa machemera. Ushawe wa machemera. Chipo, chipo, iwe. Johnny, Johnny, iwe. Liza, Liza, iwe.
Maswera say, Murie Zimbabwe. Welcome once again to this edition of this weekly's edition of News Review, where we take a look at the topics that made the news headlines on Change Radio News in the past week. Today we are privileged to have a wide array of guests and who will be joining us to talk to us on a number of topics and news items that made the headlines over the past week. My name is Sophia Tekwani. I'll be joined by Mambo Sose and a lot of other panelists and guests who will introduce themselves to you shortly. If we can start with Mambo Sose, just to introduce yourselves to the viewers and the listeners.
Mukaisamkanya ka shavira chotengera kutobuda. Ngatala kutosvetuka matebhuru panapa nekusvetuka maspika emumba.
Jamba maspika.
That's Jamba maspika. Yes, so yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon to all our viewers and listeners across the world. I know it's good evening. In some areas, it's good afternoon, and it may be good morning to wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, we have an array of topics that we are going to discuss with you. And we have some good news coming from North America. That's why you are seeing my sister there, Petronella Mwenowazo. She's going to give us something about that, something good happening about CCC in North America.
Wonderful indeed. Something new, something wonderful happening in North America. Can I ask Privilege is in Norway. Can you just introduce yourself to us and let's hear, just say hello to the viewers.
Hello, viewers. Thanks, Sophie, for having me. My name is Privilege. I'm a student studying in Norway, studying international relations.
Wonderful to have you. Thank you so much. And Buya Wangu. Champion Petronella, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Very excited. You heard the news of what's happening in North America, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we are really excited. Today is a big day. Our new branch has just opened and we have our meeting going on right now. It's really, really exciting news. We want to welcome Manitoba to the CCC family. We are really excited. We're really happy that Reverend has managed to open a new branch in North America.
Wonderful, wonderful. Before we go into that, let's just, give the viewers an idea of what we'll be talking about today. We're expecting former Harare Mayor, Cllr Jacob Mafume, to join us and to just talk about his experiences of what happened and what has been happening to him and what is happening so far with the local government ministry in terms of, the by-election results and them forming a new council in Harare. But he will be joining us and we'll be talking to him about that. As Petronella said, we'll be talking about the new branch, the new baby in the North American province. We're also going to be talking about the census, a few topics from the census, the weird questions that were happening, the diasporans not being counted, and also just ZANU-PF officials are the only ones who were appointed enumerators. So we're going to be talking a bit about that. And we're also going to be talking about President Nelson Chamisa's address today being May Day in terms of the Workers' Day. So before we digress a little, let's just jump straight into the new branch, the Manitoba branch. Leader Petronella, if you could just tell us about what has been happening. I understand you've got a committee there, you've got leadership that is in position. If you can just tell us who they are, when you came about, and what you've done so far as a branch.
Okay, I'm actually standing in for the chairperson for the Manitoba branch. I run my own branch, the Montreal branch, which is really kicking right now. I'll just give you a little feedback on a little bit about my branch, and then I'll talk about Manitoba. So the Reverend was actually my secretary before he moved to Manitoba. We're the ones who started the Montreal branch. It was quite difficult to start it because then, there were no structures at all, but we managed to take off. And right now we are really, really an active branch in Montreal. We have a growing community, and we've been very active. Right now, we've been busy fundraising for the upcoming by-election. But for the last by-election that was held, Montreal was active in Marondera. If you saw the banner saying Montreal supporting Marondera, Ward 11, that was us. So this branch, Manitoba, is our baby. We feel it's our baby as Montreal because the Reverend was our secretary in Montreal. He has moved and he has managed to garner all our new members. And today is our very first meeting. So I'm just here to support the Reverend and to encourage him. It takes time. When we started Montreal, we were a small branch, and of course, that is what happens. Now Manitoba is starting to take off. We have an executive now in place, and we look forward to seeing Manitoba, really expanding. And we look forward to working together. We want Canada to have more and more branches. We want to be active, and we have a very good support system for North America. So I'm here just to let you know that the train has started moving in Manitoba, and you're going to hear more from us.
And before you go, if you can just give us a rundown of some of the things that you've done in Canada, in particular with your branch in the past few months.
Oh, we've been really, really active. It has not been easy, but we worked a lot on mobilization. We were trying because as Montreal didn't have a branch at all, we had to mobilize. So what we did, our very first function was we had a barbecue that was so successful. People came to see. People were not sure if anything would come out of it, but from that day, when people realized that no, we are organized, then more and more people have been coming. People arrive from other areas through Montreal. So the minute they get into Montreal, they contact our branch. It's like we are the mother welcoming children. Citizens contact us directly. They arrive in Montreal. Some people are in shock, the weather. Some people don't have any family. Some people don't want to get accommodation. When every week we have a team that rushes to the shelter where people are arriving, and that they find out how many Zimbabweans have come. How can we help you? We give them the contact. We've established a very good working relationship with the shelters that are in Montreal. We have a very good working relationship with the structures that are influential within Montreal. We are constantly having my monthly meetings in Montreal. We're constantly networking with our province. We're always in touch. We have been very critical in fundraising for Canada, and we feel that Canada is slowly becoming more and more recognized as a powerful entity within North America. We feel that we are bringing about results. We feel that there's now exposure. We feel that it's now a growing citizen family. And so we've had barbecues. We are currently in the process of making our T-shirts. They've just arrived and we're busy printing T-shirts. We did a banner for the by-election this year in 2022. And this banner was huge and unfortunately, the rally was not approved. But they still used the banner right around Marondera. They moved around with it, talking about the citizens. We provided funds for the agents. We assisted in food procurement. We were buying food online for the agents. We were assisting where there were problems with fuel. We were constantly in touch with people on the ground. And when a woman is running the show, things move very, very smoothly. We knew we were going to win, and we did win Ward 11. We were very satisfied with the work that we did on the ground.
Wow. Congratulations indeed.
Thank you.
It sounds like a lot has been happening. You can tell.
Thank
so
you.
The future plans for the branch, what have we got? What can we look forward to?
Well, definitely we want to continue growing. Every day there are new people coming into Montreal, and we are ensuring that they have information about us. Like now we're busy printing posters to put at the shelter. So the minute they arrive, they are able to contact us. We have a Facebook page. We are on Twitter. I have a good team that is marketing, that is busy working on social media. We also have a women's assembly chairperson. We have a youth leader, a female youth leader, very aggressive as well. I can see us being at the top as a branch in Canada if we keep this going on. And I truly appreciate the support that I get from the executive. It's always hardworking. We contribute every month as an executive. Each and every person is contributing money. Each and every person, it's a must. It's a commitment that we made as a branch. We have to contribute every month a certain amount of money, and it comes every month. That's how we have managed to get our T-shirts. Now we have our T-shirts. We are going to be printing them. When it comes to the members, the citizens, they feel at home. There's a lot of discussions that go on in the groups. People are wondering what is going on back home. We provide that information. We're always saying every day on the group, it's Cry My Beloved Country. If we see the pictures of what is going on, what we want is just fairness. We want humanity. We want basic rights. We want basic facilities for our people back home. That's why we are in this as citizens.
Absolutely.
Thank
Wonderful,
you.
wonderful. I see is that Reverend Busha.
Hello, champions. How are you?
Hello, you're very welcome, Reverend. How are you doing? Congratulations on the new branch.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your support.
And we've been, yes, Champion Petronella has been taking us through the exciting times and the wonderful initiatives that you guys have been doing as a branch. I mean, you're so young, but you've done so much already.
Yeah, we are also so excited and hopeful that with your help and your direction, we will get there. Right now, we are still in the meeting, but I'm also excited to be part of this conversation you are holding.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you very much, Reverend, for the executive, for the branch, the new branch. If you can just tell us how many people are in the meeting right now and what you're hoping to achieve in the next few months as a new branch, for North America.
Thank you very much, our leader and our chairman, and you keep on inspiring us. Right now in the meeting, we have about 12 people, and we also have leaders from the district, Mr. Bude, Mr. Bude, Mr. Bako. So the meeting is progressing very, very well. I would think the purpose of our meeting for today is just to, it's more like an introductory meeting, also brainstorming on the programs we want to carry in the next few months, and especially on the strategy of mobilizing other people to join, because we've got a good number, a large Zimbabwean community in Manitoba, though it is disjointed somehow. But we think with this initiative, it will become a point of convergence for Zimbabweans in Winnipeg, to be precise. So yeah, we'll see as the meeting progresses what we are going to come up with. But definitely we are very confident and hopeful that we are going to soldier on.
Well, sounds exciting times indeed happening in Canada. And congratulations to Team NAP, congratulations to Team Canada. We look forward to a lot more coming out of Manitoba and out of Canada. And we are rooting for you, we are supporting you, and we want to see you succeed and mobilize as many people as possible. So yeah, keep at it, and all the very best from Change Radio and all of us.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'll be joining you soon. We just want to get on with this program, but I'll be joining you. This is good. Well done.
Greatly appreciated. We'll be waiting for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Champion Petronella. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Right, moving on. We just want to touch a bit on the May Day message from President Chamisa. I'm not sure if we have seen it, but just to give a rundown, just a few basics of what the president touched on was he paid tribute to the workers in Zimbabwe, saying that they are the backbone of the nation, and he was just thanking them for keeping the nation going and the nation afloat. And the issue of a decent salary wage coming up again, offering workers a decent basic salary that, they can look after their families, decently. I don't know, Chief, do you want to take us through that while we're waiting for Chairman Isaac Mutasa?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I hope our team in the background will be able to give us snippets of that speech. But the background of it, as you know, everyone, that most of the leaders that you see in CCC, are babies of trade unionism. They came from ZCTU, and even up to today, CCC remains a people-led party, a party that is supported by the citizens, by the people, by the workers. If there is any party that is going to change the lives of workers in Zimbabwe, it is CCC. And that's why you heard President Chamisa speaking so eloquently about what the CCC government is going to do in the not too distant future. In 2023, will be in. And as President Chamisa has said, even on Twitter yesterday, even before he spoke about May Day, he had even started tweeting about it. I read his whole tweet. I think it was about 4 or 5 threads where he was articulating the plans that CCC have for workers. He touched on the issue of teachers. He touched on the issue of civil servants, that they deserve better wages, and that as Zimbabweans, we need to get our dignity back. It's a fundamental right to be dignified, in front of everyone, in front of the world. But look at what is happening to Zimbabweans. Look at what is happening in South Africa. People being bent down, people being, living in other countries like slaves. We are here. We don't even like it. It's only because most people cannot work in Zimbabwe, so that's why they end up, leaving Zimbabwe. In any case, they are not even jobs. So you also heard President Chamisa talking about, employment creation. I don't want to preempt what Chairman Mutasa is going to say, because I know he is prepared to give us good feedback about this. So I'll let him come on.
Chairman Mutasa, the floor is yours. Can you hear us, Chairman? Maybe what I can do, let me try and call him. Let me try and call him, and then we can have the audio.
Yes,
if you can hear me, Chairman Mutasa, I'm going to call you, and then you can speak to us through the audio.
So some of the things that President Chamisa was saying, that we need to give workers their wages before their sweat dries. Better days are coming. A new great Zimbabwe is loading. God bless all workers. God bless Zimbabwe. God bless Africa. That was President Chamisa there tweeting and talking about workers. And he also talked about the, is he on now? Okay. He also talked about giving workers a living wage, restoring workers' dignity, as I was saying earlier, and getting rid of the old, rotten, and paralytic system, sucking life out of workers. And he also talked about electing a citizens' government that puts workers' welfare first and prioritize, dignity at the heart of governance and all policy decisions. That people will be given a chance to participate in any policy formulation. That's why as CCC, we are saying the citizens are now at the center of all decisions that will be made by the government. It means putting people, first, putting Zimbabweans first, and not what we are seeing today, as everyone at the May Day was saying. Former President Mutasa also mentioned that we want a government that thinks about the workers, that thinks about Zimbabweans first, not what we are seeing where the leaders, people like Emerson Mnangagwa, his family, his cronies, the people that are around him, those are the people that are enjoying the bigger cake of the Zimbabwean riches. And that's not what happens in a people-led or in a citizen-led government. The citizens come first. And is he on? Okay.
Yes, we are ready. Chairman Mutasa, if you can go ahead, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you. I'm very sorry.
Can you hear him?
Barely.
Do you want to speak louder, Chairman?
No.
A little bit.
Better.
Yeah, I think it's a little challenge, but let me just try and let me know if you feel it's getting better.
Okay, I think maybe we can work with that.
All right, I'll try. No, look, I managed to go through the debate. I think it was a very good speech.
Yeah, you need to speak up. And
Mr. Sophia, can you put your phone next to the laptop? Can you put it near the laptop?
I'll put it on the laptop. Let me see. Can you try now? Okay. Let's try that.
No.
yeah, it's very low.
Wait. You know what? Actually, let me call him on the direct line. Let me call you on the direct line, not a WhatsApp call.
All right.
So
I think there's a clip. I think there's a clip that is from the May Day speech while I'm calling Tim and Mutasa. Maybe we can have that while we're waiting for him to come through.
Okay.
Okay.
And then this is one of the most slowly supported or attended ZCTU event. Why do you think that is so?
I didn't see the law attended. I saw many people who came, and of course I know there are other issues that people may have, but I think it was a befitting treatment and salute to the workers. It's about the workers. It's not politics. Workers must be given their right to place. They are the source and pillar of any society. We must support the workers. We are here because we are in solidarity with the working class family to make sure that we are together. It's not about politics. And I'm glad to say ZANU-PF were also here for the first time. The minister was here. That's how it's supposed to be. And that's what builds the country. That's what moves the country forward. It's a good approach. And I think it's a good beginning. Thank you.
Wow, powerful, powerful. That was President Chamisa there at the May Day gatherings, and he attended with a high-powered Triple C delegation, and he was also appreciating that even ZANU-PF for the first time attended the May Day, because the workers that attend, they come from different political parties. And I just like the stance that President Chamisa has adopted, where he has said that as Triple C will be attending all national events, because sometimes it's about Zimbabwe, it's not about politics. When you talk of independence, independence is about Zimbabweans. Workers' Day is also about the workers in Zimbabwe. And I think he also took time to clarify one of the issues that ZANU-PF was going to town with, lying to people, telling people that President Chamisa has agreed to a 7-year Sabbath or 7-year sabbatical from elections. But you heard him saying that if we are going to take a Sabbath, if we are going to take a sabbatical from anything, it is a sabbatical from the people suffering. It is a sabbatical from the looting. It is a sabbatical from the ills that ZANU-PF has caused in our economy and within the people of Zimbabwe. So there's no 7 years that ZANU-PF has been talking about. It was not proposed by President Chamisa. It's ZANU-PF that is trying to sell its propaganda of trying to, alone get their stay in power, their illegal stay in power, by saying that we are going to have a 7-year, absence of election. There is nothing like that. We are a democratic party. We believe that we are going to take power through elections, and there's no way we can then say there won't be elections in the next 7 years. No.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think we've got Chairman Mutasa. We can try again. Let's hope this time is a bit better. Chairman, can you hear us?
Yes, very clear.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Oh, Chief, can you hear Chairman?
Yeah, I think it's better now.
Okay, I think you can go ahead, Chairman.
You have to keep speaking up.
Okay. And more volume, Bijan.
Yes, no, that's fine. I'll do my best, and let me know if it gets any bad, but I'm glad you are hearing at least.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. My sincere apologies. It's my guy also. No, I was saying that the speech by the president is very good on two major aspects. The first one, of course, it captures well the current situation on the ground, insofar as the living conditions of the worker is concerned in Zimbabwe, that the earnings have been eroded. It's everybody, I think everybody knows that is the situation on the ground. And then, but maybe more importantly is what we as the alternatives are offering. And I don't think there's any political party in the country that is prepared to make this kind of an offer that we are offering as an alternative. We know that PF does not have the capacity, they do not have the will to do the things that are articulated by the Triple C and by our president. If you look at, for example, paying salaries in US dollars, $540. I mean, if that PF had really wanted to do this, we do have that kind of money, but of course it goes to the wrong people, it goes into private pockets. There's massive looting, so then there will be nothing left for everybody else. So they do not have the will, and they don't have the capacity, and the moral capacity even to consider paying that kind of money to workers. Talk of a conducive environment which fosters business growth. I mean, if you look at what's happening right now, ZANU-PF threatening private property, look at Hobo Chingono's case, for example, those are some of the things that scare away investors, foreign investment. So on the one hand, they're indicating re-engagement with the West and foreign investors, and then the next day they are threatening to attach private property through their hooligans. I mean, this kind of doing politics does not augur well for foreign direct investment. So they may want to pretend like they don't need foreign direct investment, but every country needs foreign direct investment. Even the developed countries do need foreign direct investment. What more countries as small as our economy, that kind of economy that we have. Now, if you look, for example, at reforms of state-owned enterprises that we are offering, we also know that ZANU-PF does not have the capacity to reform state-owned enterprises, which they have looted, by the way. And so I do not see any change that can happen in the country so far as the economy is concerned in terms of development. That is, if and unless if the Triple C forms the next government. So it is very important that because everything is connected, we have to connect all the dots. We have to make sure that the Triple C forms the next government if these things are going to be implemented, because there is no way ZANU-PF or any other party for that matter can really carry out all these massive reforms. Now, one more important aspect is the tripartite negotiating forum that the president articulated in his speech. You know, the problem that we have in the country is a breakdown of the social contract, where on the one hand you have a government that wants to be everything, and then they want to blame everybody else for the failures. You see, you need the workers on the table, you need the investors on the table, government not on the table. Let's have an agreement on what it is that we can develop, what we can deliver as a nation. Let's have a vision, a common vision, which can be carried through regardless of who is in power. But ZANU-PF cannot agree to that, and they don't have, again, the capacity to do that, because as long as it doesn't end up with money in their own pockets, they will not agree. So we have this logjam that our development is arrested by people who want to use state resources for their own personal benefit. So for them, a national vision which can be carried by whichever party is in power does not suit them, because it denies them the opportunity to loot. So all these things can only be achieved if there is a complete change of government. So at the end of the day, Zimbabweans, I think it's very important for us to realize that the things that are articulated here are very possible. In fact, they don't even take a decade to implement. And change can just happen as soon as these things are implemented. It's very, very simple. But the problem is this block. That as long as we realize that there is a barrier to these things that have been articulated here, if we do not realize that this is the barrier, then we are stuck. That's why it's important for every Zimbabwean to register, vote, and see to it that they bring in a new government led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa, because there's no other way these things can be implemented. And these are the things that Zimbabwe needs to get out of this mess. And finally, I think I'd like to quickly also make a small comment. Not small, but very important actually, because you see, if you read through the speech by the president, you find that he mentions consummating social contract, which I say, but also to domesticate ILO conventions. You see, as a state, we cannot be a state which has its own rules that are not even connected to international conventions. We don't care what other people say or think about us, the image of the country, we don't care. You know, it doesn't work like that. We cannot live in a vacuum. So sometimes when you do mention these things to some people, that look, every time you threaten people, you do these things that you're doing, like Zimbabwe is in the news, it's been trending. 15 God trending. Honestly, 15 God. The whole world is talking about Zimbabwe today because of 15 God. But you see, they think it doesn't matter, but it matters. Because the whole world is watching. So this is something that's very, very important. As long as we have a party in government which does not care what the international community says or thinks about it, then you're in trouble. We need a government that, government nenyadi, that's the government that we need in Zimbabwe. That is the basis on So I really think it was a very powerful speech, very important. It captures the current situation on the ground, but not only captures the current situation, it does provide solutions. There is an alternative there. So Zimbabwean choice is ours. Workers, especially even those who are not working, because we are potential workers, we have so much unemployment. It's unprecedented, really, to have this high unemployment for a country that is not even at war. There are countries that are at war today, but they have currencies, running currencies. And we look at ourselves, we are not at war, we cannot have a stable currency. And we are saying, okay, look, if our currency is not working, obviously because of your appetite for spending and printing money, let's use the US dollar. Still, they cannot. You don't have policy. We do not have policy clarity. You get a sense of sometimes that the dollar is there, the dollar is not there. There's no clarity on which currency we are supposed to be using in the country. And this is unacceptable. Really, I get so emotional talking about this because I know that these are things that are very deliverable, very possible, with people who have the willpower to develop and the people at heart, the citizens at heart. But unfortunately, over the past 42 years, we have been under a government that pretends to like the people, but actually hate the citizens. And I will tell you why, as I conclude. You see, democracy is good because it puts a government in power by the people and for the people. Now, if people do not vote you and you manipulate the vote so that you end up in power, actually at the back of your mind, you're saying, shit, these people have voted me out. You hate people. So ZANU-PF actually hates its citizens because it knows it was never voted by them. They rejected them. So we have a government that actually hates its citizens. Well, in their minds, they really know these people did not vote us. It's very sad. So, but the only way that conclude is to make sure that we register and vote massively to make the rigging impossible. Every Zimbabwean now has a duty to play in this election and make sure, even if yourself you are not available to vote, make sure you convince someone to register and vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairman Mutasa, for that. So his final parting shots there being, make sure you register to vote, you vote, and we vote this corrupt government out so that people can have a decent living wage and we can have a workers' day we can celebrate, that makes sense, that we can celebrate. Thank you so much for that, Chairman Mutasa. Thank you for being with us.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Right, going ahead, speaking more about the maladministration that's going on. Privi, if you're still with us, can you take us through the census that is going on currently back home?
Oh, hi. Good evening and greetings to everyone. Right. For me, following the events that are going on home, I think it's a waste kind of resources. Not to undermine the importance of a census, but how the resources are being used. Because when we look at a census, it is a statistical tool that we can use to have a sense or a picture or an understanding of how people are living in a country. What are the issues that are affecting people in a country? So which means that the questionnaire that is going to be distributed or the questions that are going to be asked from people are going to be also thorough and inclusive both domestic and international or outside, meaning the people that are in the diaspora. So a census should be accountable for all various socio-economic factors. So there is one important issue that I want to highlight in there that caught my attention, which is the non-inclusivity that the census has been, like sidelining the civic society. Like the civic society is claiming, is alluding that they were not involved and they were never given a chance to learn about the process. So I think that is one way where the mistake is being made, or where resources are being wasted, because from its design it should be inclusive. We need to involve everyone, so that from the initial process we have a thorough and a conclusive departure point. So also then I think there is an underutilization or under understanding of the potential or that the diaspora have. Yes, of course, we can have more factors home, but I think including the diaspora allows us to capture the potential that we can use the diaspora for. The diaspora can contribute in human resource or can put financial resource, and we need to tabulate this. And also it helps us design, especially when we are looking at 2023. We need to know what population, what are the factors affecting migration factors, and we include all, so that we also provide or we inform our policies in terms of voter diaspora vote. It's important. So if we establish that there is so much potential outside there that we can use back home, those things are seen through the census. So my point that I'm trying to drive here is that the processes that are going home are not thorough, and they should be more thorough and inclusive.
Yeah, inclusive. So what's your take now on the questions that were being answered, that were being asked rather? We had people complaining that they were uncomfortable with some of the questions, that they found weird that they were being asked. Questions such as, when was the last time you ate meat? What's your take on the ridiculousness of the whole process?
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck in between as a social scientist also, because those questions sound silly, but they can also be reflective of our day, of a household day-to-day life. But the substance of the entire question is that what is in the entire questionnaire is what I can question. There were too many silly questions and absurd questions. So I don't think in that sense, those questions were necessary, or although they say there are many stages, I'm still yet to expect something yet. But as it stands now, those questions were absurd and there were too many. They are not reflective. They would never reflect the aspects of a normal citizen in the country.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what's going on. And a lot of citizens in the diaspora as well really feeling left out because they're not counted, and they don't feel like they're being included in this process. And it's quite unfortunate because we know we have a lot of Zimbabweans in the diaspora, and we wonder why Zimbabweans outside were deliberately left out from this exercise. But we wait to see what happens.
Yeah, purely there is lack of political will. There is purely lack of political will. That's what I have said earlier on. Like, maybe the government is undermining the potential that the diaspora has. We look at countries like Somalia. Somalia now has changed from war through the diaspora contributions.
Yeah.
So it has, then when you have such examples or cases that you can draw from, and you feel that you have that capacity in you, and then you are not being included, it's an insult.
Absolutely. And not just in the diaspora, but also happening back home. We've had a bit of a challenge trying to get Mayor Mafume. He's had a car problem, so he's trying to get in the studio, but he's facing challenges. But like what you're saying, that it's a case of the government undermining the diasporans and also the Zimbabweans who are back home in Zimbabwe, where we had, the local government ministry saying that they do not recognize the newly elected CCC members of council because it was not in a general election, and also undermining and also nullifying the appointment of the acting Harare Mayor, Councillor Mpama Ondi. What's your take on this sort of stance, where a government says we don't recognize the elected councillors because they were not elected during general election but in by-election?
Yeah, my comment on that is the ZANU-PF government undermines or is afraid of what the citizens can do. So by any means necessary, they will try to stifle that. And the best way they've done so far from their end is to undermine the functionality of other institutions that we have in the country. They've captured all institutions, and that is how they control. They undermine the authority because those councillors are supposed to be working now. And there is complaints, there are issues of refusal collection, things are not working only because the person who is the elected councillors are not being given the chance to work, to provide service to the citizens. So I think this is left to citizens for 2023. So that because the whole vehicle is not moving anyway, it's a broken down vehicle. We cannot go with it anyway. So then we need to change this culture of, I think there is actually lack of imagination in that government. We need to deal with that honestly, because they don't see beyond. It's so painful to talk about this. It's so painful.
It's what Chairman was saying, that it's quite emotional, isn't it?
It's very, trust me, to every Zimbabwean, I think this is the feeling that we all have. It's so painful because in the scheme of things, we understand, we know what needs to be done and how it should be done. But then to have somebody who channels that energy in the positive direction, we don't have. We don't have.
Yeah. But anyway, you know what? The only thing we can do really is what everyone has been saying. Let's register to vote. Let's go out and vote in our millions. And let's vote this regime out, this clueless regime out, who are just going on with the maladministration, the corruption, the violations on the human rights. This is the only thing we can do for Zimbabwe. Come next year, let's all vote out ZANU-PF. Let's put in President Nelson Chamisa and the CCC, and let's have a Zimbabwe that is, brings dignity to all its citizens. And this cluelessness must go. It really must go. Right, I think we can wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Zimbabwe, for joining us. Thank you to our wonderful panelists, Champions Petronella, Champion Privilege, Reverend Gusha, who was with us, Chief who was with us as well, Chief Shoshe, and Chairman Isaac Mutasa, who came through, leaders Leo and Stella, who were with us. Thank you so much for joining us, Zimbabwe. And we just want to remind you that next week again, join us again for this edition of the next edition of News Review, same time, same place. And we do wish you a pleasant listening on Change Radio and viewing again on Change Radio. But thank you so much for being with us, and have a very good night.
Thank you so much.
Panambuya nana sekuru kumamisha nehama dzose dzisati dzaziva ndine shoko guru randinoda kubudzai Nelson Chamisa wave nebato itsva. Iri danho rakatorwa mushure meku paonekwa kuti zita reMDC rakange rasvibiswa nemhandu ng'onzo rakomichi